Hope everyone is doing well today. And thank you for joining us for our 45-minute Vinyasa yoga practice that we do Tuesday afternoons. And I know some of you will join later on YouTube. And so I might as well welcome you too. Good to see you all. So you2 and YouTube, almost the same word. So again, let's begin our 45-minute practice. Find a seated position on your mat and just begin to settle in a little bit. I had occasion to drive around a little today, and it was very icy. And so my thoughts are still a little bit with the driving around in the ice and sliding all over the place, not being able to stop very easily. And so it's helpful for me, and I hope for you, just to take a few moments, even if you haven't been out, just to settle in, just to become present and aware, and maybe say to yourself, now is the time I've set aside to practice yoga, and that's what I'll focus on. I'll sort of let everything else go. Just follow your breath as it flows in and flows out. And just a few more breaths. Two more. And one more deep breath in. And then let the breath go. Now reach the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, and stretch the palms up towards the sky. Roll back on your sitting bones and draw your navel in, and then press up through the palms a little bit more. Now release the hands down and bring the left hand to the mat. Reach the right hand up and over. Stay grounded in that right sitting bone and then rise back up. And bring the right hand down. Now reach with the left and then inhale and rise back up. Left hand comes down, right hand reaches. And engage the core as you rise. And right hand comes down and reaching with the left. Now bring the arms out to a T and then take a twist to the left. Bring the left hand down behind you, press into the left palm, reach the right hand high and then look up towards that right palm. Press into the left hand. Now engage the core, come back to the left, so the palms are facing to the left, and then back to center. Reach the arms high, and then bring the hands to heart center, pressing the palms together. Sit up nice and tall. Now draw the navel in, bring the chin to the chest, around the spine, and bring the forehead down slowly towards the mat, maybe touching the mat with the forehead. And then inhale and rise back up. Let the arms float high, and then cactus the elbows, with the elbows about at the same level as the shoulders. Palms are facing forward. Now pull the elbows back, lift your chin, just find the slightest little back bend, and then reach the arms high. And then hands to heart center. We're going to round forward again, chin to chest, draw the navel in as you bring the forehead down towards the mat, and then inhale and rise back up. Arms reach high, elbows cactus. Now lift the chin. Press the chest towards the sky. Now release. Bring the palms together overhead. Point the index fingers. Interlace the other fingers. Now take a little bend to the right. And then back to center and a bend to the left. And back to center and a bend to the right. And come back to center and a bend to the left. Come back to center and reach up. Really stretch through the index fingers and then release the arms. Bring them out. Take a twist to the right this time. Bring the right hand down behind you. Plant that right palm. Reach the left hand up and overhead. And then look up towards the thumb on that left hand. Press into the right hand a little bit more and reach up really high. Now pick the right hand up off the mat and then palms facing to the left. And then back to center. Reach the arms high. And exhale to heart center. Just a couple of breaths. You can let your eyes close down. Feel the spine lengthen as you breathe in. one more breath. Good. Now bring the arms out to a T, and then take a twist to the left, right hand to left knee. Left hand comes down behind. Breathe in deeply, and then exhale and twist as you look over your left shoulder. Draw the navel towards the back of your space there, towards that left hand, and then let it go. Come back to center. Flow right over to the other side. Left hand to right knee. Right hand is down behind you. As you breathe in, draw the navel over to the right as you twist. And let it go. Bring it all back to center. Reach the arms high, palms together, then interlace the fingers. Press the palms for the second time up towards the sky. Draw the navel in and pull your tailbone down towards the mat. Lengthen, really stretch up, and then bring the arms out to a T. Take a breath. Now right hand comes down, left hand reaches up and over. Stretch on the left side body. Inhale and rise. And the left hand comes down and the right hand reaches. The left elbow can bend a little bit. And inhale and rise. And over to the other side. And last time, rise up. And then bring your left hand down, reaching with the right. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Now roll over the knees. And let's come to table pose. And once you're in table pose, check in with your alignment. Make sure that your knees are about hip width apart and that the knees are right under the hips and the hands are right under the shoulders. Now press your hands into the mat, palms as well as fingertips, so that the shoulders rise up a little bit. Now, cow pose. Take a deep breath in and drop your belly, lift your chin, reach your tailbone away from the knees, and then exhale to cat pose by pressing your hands into the mat and reaching the middle of the back up towards the sky. Make an effort to bring your forehead closer to your knees. Now inhale to cow pose, and then exhale to cat. And again, inhaling to cow, and exhaling to cat. And a couple more times through, inhaling to cow, and exhaling to cat. Let's do it one more time. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Now pause as you press your hands into the mat. Lift your navel up. So draw your navel up towards your spine. Let your forehead come towards those knees again. So you're deeply rounding. And then come back to table pose, back into a nice neutral posture. From there, make sure you're pressing both hands into the mat. Thumbs are kind of pointing towards one another in this pose. Now press the hips to the right. And then inhale and press the hips to the left on the exhale. Inhale and press the hips to the right. And then exhale and press the hips over to the left. And just continue flowing the hips from side to side. Inhaling and exhaling. So the movement is occurring synchronized with the breath. Keep it going another once or twice on each side. Then come back to a neutral spine, and then from there, reach the left leg straight back, pressing through that left heel. Then rotate the toes on the left foot so they point to the left. Bend the left knee and bring the left knee forward. Let me move to the other side so you can see this. And maybe touch that left shoulder with the knee. Now press the left heel straight back, and then rotate the toes so they point down. Now bend the left knee and bring knee towards chin, maybe touching the chin with the knee, and then press the left heel straight back. Let's do that all a second time. Rotate the toes so they point to the left, bend the left knee and bring it forward, maybe touching the shoulder. And then straighten the left leg, the toes still point to the left. Now rotate the toes so they point down, that left leg is straight. Now bend the left knee and bring it forward. Now straighten the left leg, press it straight back. And then bend the left knee and step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Now straighten the left leg, press the left hip back, reach your head forward. So you feel a stretch. For me, I'm feeling that here at the outside of the hip and also at the bottom of the leg, the hamstrings, actually the top of the leg and the back. Now bend the left knee, come up on fingertips, press that left knee forward, and then press back again, straightening the left leg. Let's do that one more time. Bending the left knee, pressing it forward, and then straightening the leg and pressing it back. Good, now bend the left knee, and then step the left knee back so it meets the right knee. Now inhale to cow pose. We'll just reset the spine and exhale to cat. Again, inhale to cow pose and exhale to cat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale to cow and exhale to cat. And then come back to a neutral spine. Now pick your right knee up and point the right knee to the right. Now straighten the right leg. Toes on the right foot point to the right. Now point the toes so they are pointing down. Rotate the toes so they point down. Then bend the right knee and bring it forward, maybe touching your chin with the knee. Now straighten the right leg. Rotate the toes so they point to the right. Bend the right knee and bring it forward, maybe touching that shoulder with the knee. And then straighten the right leg. Rotate the toes so they point down. Bend the right knee and bring it forward, maybe touching the chin. Now straighten that right leg. Press through the right heel. And then step the right foot forward so it comes between the hands. From there, come up on fingertips and then straighten the right leg. Pull that right hip back. Pull your head forward. Feel the sensation in the back of the right leg. And then bend the right knee. Come up on fingertips, press the right knee forward, and then straighten the right leg and press the hip back, reach the head forward. Let's do that again, bending the right knee, bringing it forward, and then pull that right hip back. Now bend the right knee, and then bring the knee back, and we're back to table pose. Now from table pose, tuck your toes and lift your hips, and let's find downward facing dog. We're here just for a moment, and then go ahead and pedal it out. So bend one knee, press the heel down on the straight leg, and then bend the other knee and press that heel down on that straight leg towards the mat. Maybe your heel reaches, just continue flowing through this, pedaling it out. Maybe your heel reaches, maybe it doesn't. Don't worry about it. It's all okay. And breathe in and then press and breathe in and exhale and press. Once or twice more. And let it go. Now, downward dog, and then glide forward to plank. And then from there, bring your knees to the mat. Let your hips drop to one side or the other and swing your legs around in front. Come again to a cross-legged position. Once you're in a cross-legged position, sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath, and then let your right ear come towards your right shoulder. Relax that left shoulder a little bit. Now, chin to chest, and then left ear towards left shoulder, and then lift your chin up high, and right ear towards right shoulder. Chin comes to chest, nice and slow. Left ear towards left shoulder, and chin lifts high. Let's go around one more time, this direction. And left ear towards left shoulder, lift the chin, and then bring the chin back to a neutral position. Take a breath. Let's go the other direction now. Left ear towards left shoulder and chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder and lift the chin high. Just go around 3 times this direction. And keep it going. And this is the last one. Now bring the chin back to a nice neutral position. Then roll over the knees. Then tuck your toes and lift your hips. Let's find our downward facing dog. Second time here. And then slowly walk your feet forward. So the feet are walking towards the hands. And eventually you'll find your feet somewhere between your hands or close, and let your head drop down. Bend the knees. Let your head drop down. Let your head get nice and heavy. Now keep your chin on your chest. and slowly round as you rise. Draw your navel in as you come up, and then let your arms float high, and then exhale the hands, bringing them to heart center. Take a breath and let the breath go. Good work. Do that again. Big, deep breath. Exhale and let the breath go. Now inhale, let the arms float up, and then bring the arms wide, palms face up. Look up, maybe back, bend the knees if you want. Inhale, reach up high, and then fold forward. Come to a half lift, and then exhale and let your head drop down. The knees can bend here if you want. Let your head get a little heavier. Now press into the front of the feet and rise, and reach up high. Bring the palms together, and then bring them to heart center. Let's flow through that again. Inhale up, arms wide, palms face up. Swan dive, forward fold. Come to a half lift now. And then exhale and let your head drop down. Head gets heavy. On an inhale, rise. Core engages. Palms together, interlace the fingers. Point the index fingers. Take a bend to the left. Or sorry, that's the right. And back to center, and then a bend to the left, and back to center. Keep the core engaged so the abdominal muscles are engaged deeply here. And then over to the left, and one more time on each side, over to the right, into this crescent shape, and then over to the left, and then back to center. Reach up, and then bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath. Let's go through that flow one more time. Inhale, up, arms wide. Swan dive, forward fold, come to a half lift, then exhale and let your head drop down. Chin on chest, round the spine as you rise, arms reach high, and then to heart center. Now bring the arms out to a T. Now come down halfway, keep the spine long. Knees can bend a little bit here if you like, but not too much. So hopefully my spine is about parallel to the mat. That's about where I want to go. Now bend your right knee, bring your right hand down right below your face, press the palm into the mat, reach the left hand high and look up towards the thumb on the left hand. You can bend that right knee a little bit more. And for me, I feel a lot of sensation in the back of the left leg, in that hamstring muscles, or those hamstring muscles on the back of the left leg. Over to the other side now, left knee bends, left hand comes down, right hand reaches high, gaze up at the thumb on the right hand. And one more time on each side, right hand comes down, left hand reaches. Remember the right knee is bent here. Left leg is pretty much straight. And the last one, left hand down, right hand is reaching high. Now bring the right hand down, let your head drop down, and keep your chin on your chest and round the spine as you rise. Arms reach high, and then to heart center. You let your eyes close, take a breath. Breathe in, and out. One more time, big deep breath in, and then exhale, let the breath go. Now swan dive, arms out to a T, half lift. And then as you exhale, keep that right foot forward and step the left foot back into runner's lunge. With the palms on the mat, step the right foot back so it meets the left foot into plank pose. Check in with the alignment in plank, making sure the shoulders, the hips, and the heels are all about in the same line. Now bring your knees to the mat. Chest and chin are going to follow, elbows bend as you come into cobra pose. Remember the pubic bone is pressing down in cobra. One more breath and release. Now tuck your toes, stiffen your body as you push to a plank, a high push-up, and then just lift your hips into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in down dog, pressing the heels down towards the mat. And on an inhale, reach the left leg up, press the right heel down, and then see if you can step that left foot all the way forward between the hands. If not, second and third effort is fine, but eventually get that left foot forward and then step the right foot forward to meet it, standing forward fold. Let your head drop down. Now the arms come out to a T, press into the front of the feet. So you're going to need to lean forward a little bit and then slowly rise. Once you come all the way up, let your arms float high and then hands to heart center. Let your eyes close down now. 2 breaths. And one more. Good. Arms out to a T. We're going to do that again. Now swan dive, forward fold. Come to a half lift. And then as you exhale, this time step the right foot back so the left foot stays forward. That left knee is bent about 90 degrees if you can. Now with your palms on the mat, pick that left foot up and step it back into plank pose. Take a breath in plank. And on the exhale, knees to the mat, chest and chin follow, elbows bend, cobra pose. Take a deep breath in cobra. Nice deep back bend here. And one more breath. Now release all the way down. Then tuck your toes, push to plank, and let your hips rise into downward facing dog. Remember, press the heels down towards the mat, creating sensation in the back of the legs, maybe the calves, maybe the hamstrings, maybe both. Now let the weight transfer to the left foot, reach the right foot up, and then bend that right knee and step the right foot forward. Second and third effort if you need to, and then step the left foot forward so it meets the right foot in a standing forward fold. Let your head drop down. Now take opposite elbows and press the elbows down towards the big toes. And let your head get heavy. You can gently sway from side to side if that feels good, but try and bring the weight forward into the front of the feet. Now keep opposite elbows. Keep the weight in the front of the feet so the heels are almost floating, and then slowly rise all the way back up and feel that deep engagement in the core. Reach up through the elbows now, and then release the hands. Let them come down by your side. Palms face forward and the thumbs are pointing out away from one another. Take a breath. And 2 more. And 1 more. Now bring the arms out to a T and swan dive. Come to a half lift again. As you exhale, step that left foot all the way back. Right knee bends about 90 degrees. Now come up on fingertips and straighten the right leg. Press that right hip back. Reach your head forward. Then bend the right knee and bring your left knee to the mat. Untuck the toes on the left foot. Rise to a low crescent lunge. So press into that right foot. Reach up high with the hands. Then bring your arms out to a T and take a twist to the right. Bring the left elbow to the right knee. This is a prayer twist. You're familiar with this. We do it all the time. Take a breath. Then on the inhale, rise back up. Reach the hands apart from one another. The palms face to the right. And then back to center. Reach the arms high now, and then bring them down on either side of that right foot. Tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. Now straighten the right leg and reach the head forward. Pull that right hip back. Now bend the right knee and then step that right foot back to plank pose. Take a breath in plank. And now flow through a vinyasa. Either knees, chest, chin, or like I'm doing, chaturanga. Move into upward facing dog. Notice my knees are off the mat. My navel and heart are pressing forward. And I'm trying to bring my shoulder blades together a little bit on the back. When you're ready, lift your hips into downward facing dog. Good job. Take a breath. On an inhale, let the left leg lift. And then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. We've come to runner's lunge now. Now come up on fingertips and straighten the left leg. Pull the left hip back, pull the right hip forward a little bit until you feel a stretch in the back of the left leg. And then bend that left knee. And bring the right knee to the mat. Untuck your toes on your right foot. Press into the left foot and rise. Low crescent lunge, second side. Reach up, stretch up. Now the arms to a T. Take your twist to the left and come into the prayer twist on our second side. One more breath. And press into the left foot and rise, palms face to the left. And then back to center, reach up high. Now, as you exhale, bring your hands down on either side of that left foot, tuck the toes, and bring the right knee off the mat. Now, straighten the left leg, come up on fingertips, pull that left hip back, pull the right hip forward a little bit. Now, just slightly bend your left leg, and then step the right foot forward into a standing forward fold. Arms come out to a T, lean forward so the weight comes into the front of the feet, and rise, and reach up high. And exhale the hands, bringing them to heart center. On an inhale, reach back up. Now swan dive, forward fold, half lift. And as you exhale, keep the left foot forward, step the right foot all the way back into runner's lunge. Left hand on the mat, press that left palm into the mat, reach the right hand high into a lunge twist. And then bring the left hand down and spin the right heel to the mat, and we're going to rise into Warrior Two. Come up into Warrior Two with the left foot forward, right foot back. Remember, toes on the left foot pointing straight forward, toes on the right foot pointing off to the right. Remember to relax your upper body a little bit. Good. Now, reverse warrior. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches up and back. And now extended side angle pose. Bring the elbow to the knee, reach with the right hand. Keep that left knee bent as you rise back to reverse warrior pose, and then back to extended side angle pose. Now straighten the left leg, reach up and back with the left hand into a reverse triangle pose. Take a breath. Now the arms come out to a T, and reach the left hand forward and bring it down into triangle pose. Reach the right hand high. You can support the left hand if you want. One more breath. Now bend the left knee and rise to Warrior Two. Breathe. And again. You can bring your hands down now on either side of that forward foot of the left foot. Come up onto the ball, the right foot. So we've come back to runner's lunge. Now step the left foot back to plank pose, and then bring your knees to the mat and come all the way down. Lay down on your belly, so we're in a prone position. Bring the arms out to a T, palms facing down. And on an inhale, lift the legs up. So the knees come off the mat, the legs are pretty much straight. Point the toes, squeeze your glutes towards one another, and breathe. And one more breath. And release. Bring your cheek to the mat. And just settle into the mat for a moment in this prone position. Now bring your chin back so it's centered. And then on an inhale, lift the hands up, lift the shoulders, and lift the chest off the mat. The feet are still on the mat. So this is a half locust pose. The upper half of the body is off the mat, and breathe. Follow the breath flowing in and out a couple of times. And then on the exhale, bring your hands behind you. If you can, interlace your fingers behind your back, press the flesh of your palms towards one another, and then lift the feet up, and we'll come into a full locust pose. Just breathe. Don't worry about lifting the feet up too much. Try and keep the knees straight. Think about lengthening here and not rounding too much. And release. Hands down, feet down, cheek to the mat, and breathe. Now slide the hands back so the hands come under the shoulders. Tuck your toes, push into plank, and then lift your hips into downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach the right leg up, and then step the right foot forward, bringing it between the hands. We're in runner's lunge with the right foot forward. Keep the left hand on the mat and reach the right hand high into a lunge twist. Press that left palm down, reach up through the right hand a little more. That's good. Now bring that right hand down and then spin the left heel to the mat. Anchor into the pinky toe of the left foot Notice your right knee is bent about 90 degrees. Now rise, Warrior Two. We come to the second side of Warrior Two. Relax the upper body. Left hand drops down. Reverse Warrior. Keep pressing that right knee forward. So if you straighten that right leg, rebend it. And then extended side angle pose. Bring the elbow to the knee. Reach with the left hand. And again, Reverse Warrior. And extended side angle pose. Now back to Warrior Two, and then straighten the right leg. Left hand comes down, reach up and back with the right hand into our reverse triangle. Press into that right foot. Now the arms come out to a T. Press into the left foot and reach the right hand forward. Let it drop down into triangle pose. So your gaze in triangle can be down towards the right hand, towards your mat. It can be out, or it can be up. Either way, just notice where you're gazing. Now bend your right knee and bring the hands down on either side of that right foot. Come up onto the ball of the left foot, step the right foot back to plank pose, and then flow through a vinyasa. Either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, upward facing dog. And when you're ready, move into downward facing dog. I'd like you to find 5 breaths now in downward dog. Start to allow the breath to slow. And let the breath be very deliberate. Two more breaths. And one more. Now on an inhale, let the left leg rise and three-legged dog. Open the hips to the left, then level the hips off and step the left foot forward, bringing it between the hands. Now from there, bring your right knee to the mat and untuck the toes. We're going to move towards lizard pose now. So bring the hands so both hands are inside that left foot. This is the basic starting position for lizard pose. Many of you can bring your elbows down to the mat like that, and that'll move you more deeply into the pose. Lizard pose is a very deep hip opening pose, as you can tell. Maybe you want to scoot that right knee back a little bit. And maybe you want to scoot the left knee into the left shoulder a little. Or alternatively, come up onto the pinky toe side of that left foot and let the left knee move away from the left shoulder. Just experiment with how that changes. The change in position of the knee changes the way the pose feels and changes the sensations you feel in the pose. One more breath. Now, tuck the toes and bring that right knee off the mat. We're going to move towards dolphin plank pose. So keep the elbows on the mat and then step that left foot back into dolphin plank with the hips aligned with the heels and the shoulders. And take one more breath. And then walk the feet forward into dolphin pose. Press the elbows into the mat in dolphin pose. Press your heels down towards the mat, and that'll create a lot of sensation in the back of the legs. And one more breath. Now, I've got 2 ways for you to get out of this pose. One way is just bring your knees down to the mat and then come up to table. The other way is to bring the hands to the mat and move to downward facing dog. If you're in table, move now to downward dog. So we're all meeting in that pose. And on an inhale, reach your right leg up and overhead, and let's find three-legged dog, opening the hips to the right. Remember to press your left heel down towards the mat as you do that, and then level the hips off. And now step the right foot forward, bring it between the hands. Left knee comes to the mat, untuck the toes on the left foot. Now lizard pose, you may want to scoot that right foot off to the right a little. And then maybe come down to the elbows if you can. And then experiment with hugging that right knee into the right shoulder or letting the knee move away from the shoulder. And just see what the difference is. Deep, deep opening of that hip joint. One more breath. Let's move into our dolphin plank now on the second side. Tuck the toes, bring the left knee off the mat, and then step that right foot back to dolphin plank. Take a breath. And now dolphin pose. Walk the feet forward towards the hands. The hips rise as you do that. And as you know, this is the same shape as downward facing dog. One more breath. And that's it. Bring the knees to the mat. And then come to a kneeling posture with the knees about hip width apart. Let your palms rest on your thighs just for a moment, just to kind of recalibrate for a moment, just to settle. And then on inhale, rise up on the knees. So the hips are over the knees, the shoulders are over the hips. And we're going to move into camel pose. Two options here. You can do a baby camel pose, just bringing the hands to the low back. If you do that, pull the elbows together so that you're creating an opening in the chest and breathe into that space as you lift your chin. Or you can move into a full version of camel pose by bringing the hands down either to the soles of the feet or to the heels and lifting your chin up, pressing the hips forward. 2 breaths wherever you are in the pose. And release from camel pose. Let the hips come back down to the heels. Palms to the thighs. Just breathe. Now come to a seat, so let your hips drop to one side or the other and swing your legs around in front. Then bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Then reach your arms up and overhead, press down on both sitting bones. Try and keep the biceps on either side of the ears, hinging at the hips and folding forward. Now press into the right heel and rise. Biceps stay on either side of the ears. Do that again. And inhale and rise back up. One more time. Reaching through the fingertips. And inhale and rising back up. Then you can let your hands come down. Now see if you can bring the left foot either to the knee or the thigh or maybe all the way back to the hip. Then bend the right knee and then see if you can get a hold of the right foot with your right hand and then just straighten that leg. If you want, you can bring the left hand to the right foot if you're able. If that doesn't work for you, let me move to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. If that doesn't work for you, you could bring the hands to the knee or to the ankle, or as I said, all the way to the foot. Breathe deeply and let your spine lengthen. One more breath. And release, let it go. Let's go over to the other side. So sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Press that left heel away. Toes are pointing up on that left foot. Reach the arms high. Biceps stay on either side of the ears. Hinge at the hips and fold forward over that left leg. Now press in the left heel and rise. Keep your biceps on either side of your ears so your core is doing the work here. And exhale, fold forward again. Inhale and rise. And exhale and fold forward. Inhale and rise, and then release the hands. Let them come down. Now, same thing we did on the other side. See if we can bring that the right ankle to either the knee on the left leg, or maybe the thigh, or maybe all the way up into the hip, depending on your mobility. Now, bend the left knee and bring the left hand to the left foot, or to the ankle, or the knee, your choice. And then right hand joins the left hand. And then maybe You can bring the hands all the way to the foot. Lengthen your spine. I feel a lot of sensation in the back of my left leg and the hamstrings. Breathe. And one more breath. You can let go and bring that left foot down. Right foot comes down to meet it. Reach the arms up and overhead. Now exhale and fold forward over both legs. You can bring the feet apart a little bit if you like. Now with chin on chest, round the spine and rise. And then as you exhale, roll all the way down to your back. Once you're on your back, bring your arms out to a T. We're just going to find a very gentle supine twist. Let the knees travel to the left and land. Maybe that left knee is on top of the right knee. Maybe they're touching. And bring your gaze to the right. Just take a couple of breaths and let yourself settle into the supine twist. So notice if there's any resistance in your body to the twist. And then very intentionally, see if you can start to let go of that resistance, just letting it drain out of your body. One more breath, working on letting go. Now press gently into the left palm as the knees float to center. Then let the knees come over to the other side, to the right. And let your gaze move to the left. Maybe the inside of that left knee is touching the inside of the right knee. If you want to bring your right hand to the top of the knee to kind of help it down, that's fine too. Now a few breaths, noticing any place that you feel tension, any resistance to the twist. And one more breath. Now press gently into that right palm. Let your knees float to center. Now keep the back of your head on the mat. Bring your hands to your knees. Hug the knees in towards your chest. And then pull the shoulder blades down towards the mat. And then let the soles of the feet reach up to the sky, and let's come to happy baby pose. I almost couldn't remember the name of the pose. With the hands on the pinky toe side of the feet. So the soles of my feet are pretty much parallel to the sky. And my tailbone is pressing down. This is another wonderful hip opening pose. Try and relax the muscles in the back, particularly the mid-back and the upper back between the shoulder blades. Now, release the hands from the feet, reach the heels to the sky, legs up the wall pose. And then let your heels just float all the way down to the mat. And once your heels land, flip your palms so they face up. And let yourself drift into Shavasana. Just settling into the pose. Begin to notice how the breath is flowing in and out of your body. I'm not asking you to change anything at this point, just noticing. So ask yourself the question, how does the breath feel at this moment? Does it feel a little labored? Is it a little rough, a little edgy? Or does it feel soft and gentle? And whatever it is for you in this moment, just let it be. Just accept it for whatever it is, without the need to change. Recognize that's just what your breath is doing in this moment. Now keep your attention on your breath and notice, even over this short period of time, if it's not changing some. The next time you inhale, breathe in as long as you can without creating strain. So just come to that place, keep sipping breath in. Maybe that's 5 or 6 counts, maybe it's 10 or 20 counts. Just keep sipping breath in until you feel that you're straining, and then stop and do the same thing on the exhale. Just let the breath gently flow out until you feel that you're straining on the exhale. And then one more inhale, same way as we did last time. Just continue sipping the air in, feeling the body expand. And then when you reach that point where it's straining, then just exhale and let it go. Now let go of the breath and roll to your side. Once you're on your side, you can bend your knees, bring them towards your chest, and keep your eyes closed down if you like, and maybe cradle your head in your arm. Notice whatever sensations arise now. And then bring yourself to a seat. Once you're seated and you feel your sitting bones resting on your mat, let your hands come to heart center and press the palms gently together. You can let your thumbs rest on your sternum. Now take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, you may feel your spine lengthen. You may have a sensation that your head is rising. And then let the breath go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I offer you, as I always do, loving kindness. May you be happy and well and safe, and may you be peaceful and at ease. Namaste.